I had to know, what these people were going to say. I had to know. And, you know, their voices are just so powerful in today's media landscape that I just had to see what Whoopi Goldberg I had to see what Whoopi Goldberg had to say. I had to see. I mean, Whoopi, what does Whoopi think? Like, what does Whoopi think about all this Hunter Biden madness? You think? I mean, what does she have to say about it? Joe
Biden was specifically asked about.
Damn, I gotta stop doing that. Sorry, guys. Once again,
whether he would intervene in the court case against his son Hunter. Take a look.
Is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no. And I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
Does the president have any intention of pardoning him?
We've been asked that question multiple times. Our answer stands, which is no.
Yesterday, Biden had a change of heart, granting his son a full pardon on tax evasion and federal gun charges. He released a statement that, quote, says no reasonable person who looks at the facts can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out because he is my son. That is wrong, and there's no reason to believe it will stop here. Now, I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision. So the question is, will people understand? Listen, I get it. I mean, we got a convicted felon as president.
Yeah.
You see how they keep using that, even though it's about to get kicked back? They keep using it. They did it just so that they could say it. They did it just so that they could say it, even though they knew that case wasn't going to last. They knew it wasn't going to stick, but they did it anyway so they could put that felon jacket on him because they thought it would be enough. They thought it would be enough to disqualify him, and it wasn't. And they keep saying it, and I don't think it has the same kind of juice it had when they first. I don't think it has the kind of juice that they thought it would.
It's hard for me to.
And look at Sonny. Yes.
And I know that
Say it.
that who's been asking, are you going to pardon the January 6th folks? Actually, probably not. But I kind of feel like I look at the list of folks that who pardoned during the first term. He granted 237 acts of clemency, 143 pardons, and 94
This is a little bit of a gaslight, goalpost moving. Deflection
mutations, including Michael Flynn, Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, Charles Kushner, Steve Bannon, George Papadopoulos, Alba Pirro, and Lil Wayne.
Everybody.
I forgot about Lil Wayne. Yeah. And Lil Wayne. So it is a president's prerogative. People can say, why are you doing that? But
wait. So now it's a president's prerogative. Wait, what changed? Hold on. Wait, he was a tyrant. You can't. No one's above the law, right? Remember, no one's above the law. Okay, I don't know. I thought I was confused.
That's what presidents do every time.
That's what presidents do. All of a sudden now we know how. Oh my God. Okay. You know what? What's funny about this? When it's them, they always, all of a sudden, they find out how to get some empathy and some sympathy. When it's them and their families, all of a sudden they learn and they find some empathy and some sympathy. I got another clip lined up. Just hold on just a little bit, because there's one more I want to play before we'll get to it in just a second. But there's one more clip that I want to play, because it's now all of a sudden we understand sympathy, and now we understand drug addicts and so on and so forth. Thousands of black men locked up for minor offense drug charges or not paying child support. But we don't have any sympathy for them. We don't have any sympathy for them. No. But
that's part of we're human there, Alvin. Don't you see? 3/5 of a vote.
No, I mean, human. What? In the darkies? I mean, God, never. Jesus Christ. No. I mean, they just put them over there. I mean, these laws are for them. Separate them, cordon them off, as Joe Biden said.
time. They do it every time they pardon somebody. So I'm not sure why the pro.
So now it's just so, oh yeah, somebody, every time they just, sometimes. I mean, the president's just doing president things, just doing you see how how can someone balance these things and listen to how crazy they
is real good
in the very same conversation. Donald Trump is like the devil and is doing less than what this guy is doing, and it's like, boys will be boys, locker room talk or whatever. Boy, you said grab him by the pussy. But it's like, wait, like
clutching is happening now, except that's
now clerk, like these broads, all they do is clutch pearls, but they got the nerve to try to talk about somebody's clutching some pearls. The hypocrisy.
What the view supposed to be like just celebrity gossip type shit? Like, when did it become a political pundit show?
Because them talking about Trump is the only thing that keeps their ratings up, bro.
Oh, okay, I can see that.
That's all this is. This is the only shit the preaching the fear and pushing the fear is the only thing that keeps their numbers up. Like they have to. That's all they can do.
What folks want to do, but it seems kind of foolish. You kind of knew he was going to do it, given all that's happened. But maybe I'm just kooky. So
see, right? Like it's infuriating because they're like, this motherfucker is doing the same shit that you try to say but for him, he's a tyrant, he's fascist, he's this, he's that, he's the other thing. This guy's doing the exact same thing. It's worse. It's way worse. Way worse. Like, people are not tying the dots together. They impeached Trump for not giving Ukraine the weapons and money they needed to attack Russia. He was trying to stop all this mess from happening.
Yeah.
He impeaches him. Biden gets in there. He's like, all right, bet, go ahead. Putin's like, fuck, here we go.
Yeah.
I gotta really do something now because these people think I'm joking. Here we go. Right? Like, nothing happened.
And it feels like a lot of this stuff, like a lot of the interactions is making a lot of sense now. Like, remember there was talk of potential nuclear war when Trump was in office. They met face to face and stuff was cool.
Squashed it.
Yeah. It sounds like deep state was playing games. Did you say this? Like, no, I'm not trying to start this shit either.
No, I'm not.
What the fuck then? Yeah, whatever, man.
That's them.
Right? Yeah.
And we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that because there's some I found out some interesting stuff about that whole situation. Putin is like, I don't really care about who the president is. He's like, president comes or whatever. It's the guys that show up in the black suits I got to deal with. He's like, I don't care what they say. It's these other motherfuckers over here that those are the ones I got to worry about.
President's only in there 4 years. The long-term motherfuckers.
I'll find the clip. He's like, we don't even mess with them. There's the real ones over there somewhere. Let's continue.
I see this one a little bit.
Okay, and I just wanted to play this lady's part right here.
Differently, and some of you know this, but I grew up with an immediate family member who was in and out of jail for addiction-related offenses.
And again, I'm gonna double down on this. Not just this, but there's another clip. We're gonna hear, because think about how they're talking about somebody, right?
When I was growing up, and now a decade later, clean, have their life together, serve their time, are still dealing with the consequences. Inability to vote at time, paying restitution, working to get your record expunged, not being able to be eligible for certain employment. Most Americans, if they face consequences for actions that they took, they're going to have to face them, and nobody powerful and politically connected is going to come sweep in and save them. And I think, this feeds the notion to a lot of this country that there's simply a different set of rules for folks in power. And when we sit here and we say a lot like, well, Donald Trump did X, Y, and Z, and how did he get elected? Because to a lot of this country, it just becomes noise. They think that if you commit crimes and somebody powerful and connected in DC, right, left, center, Biden, Trump, you're going to be able to get away with it if you have someone on your side. And that's not how it is for everyday folks. Secondly, I take issue with lying about it. I wanted to ask him here when he came on The View, but the thought was he said so many times he wasn't going to pardon him. That to me is lying to the public. I felt bad for Karine Jean-Pierre that she repeatedly had to say that he wasn't going to pardon him. Just this is why people don't trust Washington. That's why they don't trust politicians. And I know a lot of us like Joe Biden, but I find it disappointing and bad for our institutions. Well,
and these ladies got to sit here and eat that shit because she's no lies detected.
Look at you having integrity.
Yeah. Well, she's the good.
Why the fuck are you there?
I like her. She's the only one that usually pushes back. Her and Sonny be getting into it. Her and Sonny Hostin be getting
All
into it.
right,
Yeah, I like that. I like her, and she's the best looking one on the panel, which is also, makes a lot of sense.
Look, I think sometimes
Now, once again, who in the hell cares what Sonny Hostin has to say? But let's continue.
unfortunately in this country, there are two sets of justice, right? I too have many family members convicted of felonies, marijuana, related to marijuana. They haven't been able to get positions in certain places.
She's lying.
They haven't
She's lying.
even been able to get housing in certain places. When I applied to be a federal prosecutor, there was a checkbox. If you're a felon, explain the circumstances, and you were more than likely not to get that. Now is what we said, that we have a convicted felon in the White House.
You see how they keep hammering it? And again, it's not gonna stick. It's so crazy, bro.
The quote unquote felonies in question apparently also like some loose tax fraud. They're saying like, oh, multiple EFAR and he's murdered people. Like,
well, see, the thing of it is that those cases are still up there. The only thing that they can really like hold down is that like he lost a civil case for EPAR, a civil case, not a criminal case. So that in and of itself, even mentioning it is to me garbage, but whatever. And then this other case is the only one that's stuck with the felonies, and it's about to get kicked back. So it's the only case that's actually he was found guilty. But once again, I truly believe that it's going to go to appeal, and they've already signaled that they're going to kick it back. It was not a very strong case. The only reason why they did it is so that they could say that he was a felon, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah.
Those questions should not be asked of anyone, anytime, anywhere. That is the bottom line. Been able to get positions in certain places. They haven't even been able to get housing in certain places. When I applied to be a federal prosecutor, there was a checkbox. If you're a felon, explain the circumstances, and you were more than likely not to get that. Now is what we said, that we have a convicted.
Wait, did she try to say that she had to check the non-felony box for being a damn
marijuana? They haven't been able to get positions in certain places. They haven't even been able to get housing in certain places. When I applied to be a federal prosecutor, there was a checkbox. If you're a felon, explain the circumstances, and you.
Do you think that in her application for being a district attorney, a prosecutor, there was a box that said, "Are you a felon?"
Actually, probably as a part of like giving you a chance to be honest. Did they do a background check?
Yeah, you think
so? The check no is retarded.
Yeah, I think it's all a lie. I think she's all just this whole thing.
You were more than likely not to get that.
I'm sure she batted her eyelashes and got the job, just like Kamala did.
Now is what we said, that we
or laid on her back or whatever, allegedly.
have a convicted felon in the White House. Those questions should not be asked of anyone, anytime, anywhere. That is the bottom line.
Oh, so since he's a felon, then no rule should apply now. So now that he's a felon, then the stuff that Biden is doing and his son is doing should be okay. Then is what she's saying. Got it. Okay. I'm trying to follow her logic. I was trying to figure out where she was going with it.
That policy needs to be changed. The other thing is, Trump did escape responsibility for all his crimes. He's nominating Charles Kushner, who he pardoned, as you mentioned, as the ambassador to France. Do you know what a nice cushy job that is, that any felon would like? And
didn't Kamala get a pretty cushy job? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I think that was a questionable choice, personally. I wouldn't have done it if I were Trump. Seems like a little bit too close. But she just said presidents are going to president, right? So it's like, again, y'all can't get on him. Yeah, it's like, that's his fucking prerogative.
So pleased with the hypocritical pearl clutching by this country. Eric Holder, I think, said it really well. No U.S. attorney would have charged this case given the underlying facts that have been investigated for 5 years. Less than, get this, 0.09% of people are indicted, prosecuted, charged, and found guilty of lying on a gun form. The only reason that Hunter Biden was gone after and charged.
I wonder what those 0.9 look like.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Charged, indicted, and found guilty was because his.
I would imagine it's one of those charges that they throw on top of like a drug charge or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Trump.
right? It's like they throw those are like kind of like add-ons. They like, let me tack on another 5 years, 10 years. Oh, since you got this and that, then you're gonna get this. So if you don't want me to put this on there, then you gotta give us something else on the web. It's like a negotiation, like a charge that they use as a negotiation tool. You see what I'm saying? So like Joe
To be a dick, get out. Her situations are basically charge you 5 times, and they really just want to fuck with you 5 times with essentially the same thing.
Yeah,
assault, battery, aggravated assault, and deadly weapons.
That's why Trump has 32 or 34 of those felonies, because those were 34 different instances of him doing the same thing over the business that he had been doing. Like they were like 30. Each count is like one document that has the law. You know what I mean? So it could be 2 situations that was full of a bunch of paperwork that they say, well, this is a crime, this is a crime, this is a crime, this is a crime, this is a crime. You know, because essentially, it's like essentially bank fraud. It's like a lower version. It's like pre bank fraud.
Name wasn't Joe Smith, it was Hunter Biden. And that's the truth of it. You've got Eric Holder saying it, you've got former prosecutors like myself saying it. So, you know.
Oh, so you got former prosecutors saying it, so everything should be all good.
Wait.
I think one of the reasons why he didn't admit it earlier was because he didn't know that the felon in chief would become the next president.
Let me let Anna speak.
So, you know, I actually talked to Joe Biden about this. When he was on the show, I told him I hoped he pardoned Hunter.
I remember.
You know how I don't know, maybe I'm being womanist. I don't know. It's just interesting how all these mothers all of a sudden have like they're like, oh, Hunter needed to right? Is this not, do you not see the larger implications of this? Right? Like a bunch of like women emoting over, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, yo, mommy, like he committed a crime. Like, look, the rest of us got to buck up and go to jail or some shit. So like, stop it, you know?